Hello everyone, this is Go and this is my laundry talk. Hello. Okay, so this show is for my English improvement, nothing else. So I will talk whatever I want to learn more. So today I'm gonna talk about working holiday. I'm in Canada right now, and when I came here about 4 years ago, I came with working holiday visa. And if you live in the United States, maybe it's not really common knowledge, but in Canada, in Australia, maybe some UK, New Zealand, those like countries whose most people, like where most people speak English, has working holiday visa that like people come to your country and probably 1 year or about 2 years they will get the visa and they can work, or they can just basically do whatever they want to do. And a lot of people come here to mainly learn English, improve their language skill or find a life here, blah blah blah. There's a lot of reasons. And specifically to Japanese people, I would say that more than 50%, I don't have any like solid number behind it, but like a lot of people are here to learn English. Like that was my case as well. I wanted to improve my English ability, and as long as you live in Japan, I won't really have opportunities to speak English unless you go to the language school, or I don't know, it's just so rare to have those opportunities. And yeah, but what's interesting about learning English is that like when you ask Japanese or a lot of people with working holiday visa, like you ask what brought you Canada, and a lot of people say to learn English, but the purpose of why they are learning English can be very interesting. So today I will talk about my story, why I came to Canada to learn English. I mean, it's not like there are solid one reasons that I wanted to learn English. One is I really love movies from Hollywood, or like outside of Japan, and like a lot of them are written or like done in English. So whenever I want to fully dive into the content of it, it's so much funnier, like it's much more fun. It's much, you can understand the depth of all the things, just how they even behave or things. If you understand the English language, like you can kind of get to know about the content more. So that's kind of one of the reasons for sure. But another thing is that before coming to Canada, I was in university, and I was job hunting. Like I was trying to find a job in Japan, because usually in Japan we start looking for a job before graduating, and we usually start 30 or fall semester, like second semester, people start joining a lot of like internship and basically whatever industry you're in, like you want to be in, you start searching kind of thing. And then at the end of the university, most people have job offer, and like they just go directly start working for them after university, right? And yeah, and I wanted to be in TV industry, something like I can actually be on TV. And thanks to my parents, like I went to like private school, and then my university is kind of well known in Japan. So I was trying to combine the idea of like, okay, so my parents spend good amount of money to go to that university, so like I don't wanna, like I would love to use the fame or like the name value of my university, because in Japan, like name of university matters so much for job hunting. So because to be on TV, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be on like, you don't have to go to like big universities or anything, right? Like if you are talented on something, like you could be on TV in any ways. But at the time, I didn't find my passion for anything, any specific kind of topic. And so the vague idea is I want to be on TV, plus I have good education. So like when you combine those ideas, so what's the best option for me? And when I think about those things, Anchorman is something like you have advantages if you go big universities, and also you will be on TV. And that's somewhere I started looking at those industries, like basically just not like TV industry in general, but like specifically being on news or like wider show and kind of thing. And yeah, and then if we look back my life, my parents, no, my mom is on TV. She's not an anchorman, but she hosts like a local show in my hometown. And you know, my mother is kind of famous just in my prefecture, but I've been looking at her, how she works, and I definitely have some kind of like, oh, I wanna be like her eventually, or to feel successful. It's easier for me to distinguish if in that TV industry, because that's what I've been seeing, right? And yeah, and so that's where my thought process started from childhood. There's always other passion that really weren't encouraged in my family, which is I really like the design and like a lot of art. And I understand that this is something you cannot easily achieve. I would say it's not just about how good you are, like it includes a lot of luck and a lot of talent that like nobody else has, kind of thing. And it just somehow in my family, those like, you know, all the musician and like artists are kind of looked down or considered as kind of risky job. And even though I really loved the idea of the job, idea of the concept of being artist and stuff, I couldn't fully dive into it. I was just caring too much about family and like, I don't know, I'm still working on like why I felt so hesitant about those things, but at that time I wasn't encouraged like by myself or by my family to be that kind of person, even though my mom is pretty much that. And yeah, so there's always like question in me that like, is that actually what I want to do, and maybe not. And there's other element of like, you know, what I like who I was, like I wasn't sure, I wasn't fully aware. And I felt a lot of expectations from other people, like family, and at the time I felt very suffocated, like I couldn't breathe. And at the time I met English, like the language itself, and whenever I speak English to people who's not from Japan, and they give us lots of new perspectives, and like how I felt is just very narrow-minded, or like it just basically, you know, I felt expectation from others, but also those are coming from within me. Like I don't think I was actually expected to be certain things by family, but I just thought that they think about me that way, if that makes sense. And so those things happened, and I wasn't sure, but as long as I'm in Japan, I don't think I could be I just felt like I couldn't be myself there. And when I speak English, it was very freeing for me, and that was the main reason that I wanted to learn more English. And like maybe if I can speak English more, I could feel freer, like more freely, and that sounded very attractive to me. Yeah, and that's why I decided to come to Canada. And working holiday in Canada as a Japanese citizen, you can have only 1 year to work or 1 year to do anything. And then once the visa is expired, like you cannot really do any. Oh, nice. Once it's expired, you can do anything, right? So, but 1 year passed, working holiday is over, but I was like, no, I'm feeling amazing. Like I felt so free being in Canada, and it just saw how acceptable this country is amazing. And it started off of like idea of speaking English, but it expands something more, and ended up, you know, deciding to stay here forever. And I found a job that can sponsor me, and once you get sponsored, you can work that company, just that company, but still you can stay in Canada, right? And then if you work a certain amount of year, in my profession it was 1 year. Once I hit 1 year, 1 year term, I basically got qualified for permanent residency, and then I did all those paperwork and stuff. And in this year, like now it's about to be July, but 4 months ago, in March, I got permanent residency here, and now I don't think about being uncommon at all. Now I look back, I actually think I didn't want to be uncommon. the idea was coming from somewhere I wasn't fully aware, or like somewhere like I generated from perspectives that I had at the time, or how do you say, like I thought I had no choice but that, considering the school and industry. And that's not true. That's not true now. I think now I can think that way, like I can actually be anything, like I don't have to be on TV, like I can make my original content here. And it's just being in Canada, or maybe being in other country, gives me wider perspectives, and like I don't have to be anything, like, well, if I want to do something, I can do that thing, instead of just trying to make sense in my world or for others. It's just my life, right? And I couldn't feel that way when I was in Japan. I'm not saying like Japan is a bad country, like there's like there are a lot of different values, and as long as you're comfortable, like you feel great about it, I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. And I love Japan. I love Japan. I love visiting there. I almost wanna half live there, half away kind of thing, like if that's a possible way, but I don't think so. It's just pricey living in two countries, right? Anyway, so like that's where I started wanting to learn English, and here we are. But through this creating laundry talks, like those videos, I'm feeling my improvement of my language significantly. I was surprised because when I started this one, like I was still very insecure about English, but just like 5 times or 4 times of speaking to myself, I didn't expect these will help me this much. But the confidence this gave me is enormous. And last weekend I went to last weekend I went to weddings, and in weddings there are a lot of people obviously, and it's kind of rare occasion to see different kind of group in Japan. I don't know wedding setting, but a lot of like going out, drinking, party. We invite people who know each other. It's very rare to see people from outside of our relationships, but in Canada or maybe North America, I don't know other countries, but you see people from, or like mainly you see the people are like just you don't know, and that setting is very hard for me because of the language skill. Like I know I can speak English quite well, but also if my insecurity is still there, like I'm just hesitant to talk more, and I'd rather not to talk. I don't know why. This is maybe coming from the proud thing, like I don't want to get hurt kind of thing, but after making these videos and posting on YouTube, that I just feel a little bit secured or confident, and like I can actually start conversation and stuff. Like this just felt so good, and I'm excited to continue this and see. I'm very excited I'm very looking forward to seeing myself next year, how much I can be myself. because I am myself and I feel free, but at the same time I felt the limitation by the language. I don't know, but I feel free, but I feel freer. Anyway, I'm just gonna finish this up, so thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye.